got rid of the echo. Okay. Too much lunar energy, I would think, to try to interact with Facebook. No, honestly, this is an incredible time of lunar impact on us. This is maybe the strongest time of the year. So if you're having trouble sleeping, that's why. Even if you have your blinds drawn, your body can definitely feel it. So that's number one. And then number two, I hope you're celebrating what is so deserved, the 3 to 10 years that Bill Cosby got today for sexual assault. My goodness. He needs to spend the rest of his life thinking about these horrific things he did to people, ruined their lives. So very, very fitting. And I imagine you feel as relieved as I do. So that's number two. And then I'd like to get some people to join me up here, okay, because there's much to talk about. How about Navart? Navart, I see you here. See if you can join me, okay? Give Navart a minute. Hey, Navart, how are you?
Okay, how are you? Happy Equinox.
Yeah, happy Equinox to you and full moon. Happy full moon.
Yeah,
big harvest moon, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty tough.
Yeah, I caught it a little late. I didn't get outside in time to catch it right when it first rose over the horizon. I wish I had. I'm going to look for it tonight, though.
Yeah. I have a question.
Art?
I'm in Beirut, Lebanon.
Okay. All right. Go ahead with your question.
There's something weird that happened this on the harvest moon on Sunday. On Saturday night, I did a workshop, and Sunday morning when I woke up, I wasn't feeling pretty good. Sunday night, I started feeling like my third eye is glowing, and the heart chakra and the thymus, and I kept vomiting, and I felt like this is not a vomiting. There's something here on the thymus really bugging me. And on Monday morning, I felt like this dark force sweeping through me.
What was sweeping through you on Monday?
A dark force coming through the feet of my soul. And I thought,
go ahead.
And so I was doing something on the light body activation, and I was like, what is this? Did I came in contact with, did I collide with something?
I don't think so. I'm not liking the vomiting part. That doesn't sound like something you would want to encourage. Maybe as a rare once in a lifetime sort of thing, clearing, but it feels like you're very, very sensitive and that you're really picking up on this lunar change.
Mm-hmm.
Is that possible? Mm-hmm.
Could be.
Feels like you're very, very sensitive.
Yeah. But still, I'm not feeling good. There's still as if something bothering me. I don't know what it is.
I think you're actually quite balanced, and I think you're okay. I think it's just the moon. You're very sensitive, and I'd like to see you more grounded. So I would encourage you to spend some great time outside. Were you outside already today?
Yes, I was. In fact, my vomiting started after I was under the moon for an hour.
Under the what? The moon? I don't doubt it. And it's evening where you are, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Maybe you've had enough moon.
Yeah, well, because
yes.
Similar also happened on we had an earthquake, and I felt like this force going through.
Was it very strong?
It was like 4.5. So I felt it.
Strong enough,
Again, I felt like the thymus. There's something I could do to.
I just want to encourage you to you know, because you're so finely tuned and finely balanced. You can still hear me, Devart? because I think you've
I
lost your
do.
video. I just want to encourage you to really stay grounded. I'd love to see you walking under
Okay.
scented pine trees in the cool morning air.
Okay.
All right. You take care.
Is that? Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, great seeing you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And let's have another guest join us. If you've got your camera, I can invite you up. How about Kathy Hetward? Hi, Kathy. And let's see if we can get a third person. Crowdcast keeps threatening to make their platform feasible for 3. And if you guys remember last year, we were able to have 3, but they've had some technical problems this year. So let's see how Kathy, no, Kathy's not able. Kathy, you're either not on, remember you have to be on Chrome, you guys. Remember that. And you can't have other applications open, so you want to close everything. How about Cynthia? Cynthia, let's see if you can come join me. And I'll also invite Barbara Clark. Let's see if Barbara's able to hop up here. We'll give you guys a few minutes. Looks like Cynthia's accepting and connecting. Be great to see her. She's from Canada. So big news, of course. I'm sure everyone, even you Canadians, are watching our Fandango Supreme Court nomination proceedings. They're certainly colorful. I'm of course shocked that these. Well, why should I be shocked? These are all older, may I say, white men that are deeming to feel they have the wisdom to talk about a case of sexual assault. They need experts and they need evidence. They don't have either, but that doesn't stop them, does it? So it's certainly something to watch. Cynthia's trying to join me. I'm going to try, Barbara, I'm going to try you again, okay? Give Barbara a second here to get up. Cynthia's having problems. I can see the activity. And I'd love to see Maria Cruz. Maria, let's see if you can join me. It's great of all you guys to come, and there's so much, as I said, so much to talk about today. Oh, Kathy says she's really sorry. Oh, you've got pneumonia, Kathy. I see you over there in the chat window. I am so sorry to hear that. You stay strong and keep us posted on Facebook how you're doing, okay? I'm sorry to hear you're not well. That's a nasty one to have, I see people trying to join me. Remember, you have to be on Crowdcast to make this happen, you guys. Okay, no luck there. How about Eva? Eva, I don't know what country you're in. So let's see if you're able to. And how about Kat? Maybe Kat can join me. It's very slow on Crowdcast, isn't it? Pardon me, on Chrome. So remember, you have to close. You have to close everything, you guys. You have to close all your other apps and programs, and use the little the button that's under the video to test your connection on Chrome. Aha. Who am I joined by?
Hi, it's Kathy.
Hi, Kathy. Where are you?
I'm in Marysville. Technically Linda, which is up north. It's about 30 minutes outside Sacramento.
You're in Northern California.
Yeah.
where it's been so smoky all summer. My goodness.
Yeah,
Poor people up. Mhm.
and hot. As,
Well, hot's okay. That's kind of traditional
yeah.
for Northern California in the summer, but it's been really smoky since, my goodness, June.
Yes, I was.
Mhm. It's clear right now.
It's much better. It's calmed down a lot. Yeah.
But do you still have smoke in the air
No, but when the fires
today?
were active, the smoke was very noticeable.
Mm.
Yeah.
So for all of our viewers and listeners, Kathy lives in close, not that far from the fires that were surrounding Redding, California. What's the name of that fire? The big one? You remember? Big fire, and it went on for like
the car fire.
Car fire. So yeah.
Yeah.
So do you have a question? Can I help you?
I have lots of questions. In fact, I was hoping I was going to be able to see you. I think you were in San Mateo. Is that right?
I was in the spring.
Yeah, I was so hoping I was trying to get up there to see you. I was unable to. It just seemed like
Oh, I'm sorry.
such a great opportunity.
What are your questions now?
Oh, my questions. I don't know what the topic is. Do we have a topic?
Well, I kind of have a split topic today. I began by speaking about the moon, the lunar effects on our body. How it's interesting. Women need more moon than men, and we need a lot more lunar than we need solar. So we all think we got to have the sun, but in fact, we need more moonlight. It's a very interesting thing that as a species, as a human species, we no longer really realize. So that's what I started talking about at the top of the show, at the top of the hour.
I'm sorry,
but we also keep, it is. So if you have something you'd like to add, feel free.
I actually got to see the moon, and my favorite thing about the moon, or one of my favorite things, is the Asian story. There's a legend about if you look at the moon, you can see the shape of a rabbit pounding mochi. I don't know if you know what mochi is. It's
I don't.
I was married to an Asian man, and he told me about that, and I just loved it because if you look at the moon, especially when it's full, you can see the outline or the shape of a rabbit, and he's pounding. It looks like he's pounding something, and traditionally Asians make mochi. I think it's for New Year's or something. It's where they pound the rice into kind of like a paste, and they put sugar with it. Yeah,
I think that I've had it, but not often.
Yeah. So what are you doing these days? Are you traveling? Are you living
I'm not. I'm teaching a program that is a great deal online, but we get together 3 times a year. So I'm teaching some very advanced students these days. And otherwise, I'm here. I'm here available.
And you're getting ready for Hawaii, right?
Yes, we have a workshop coming up in Hawaii.
I have a question, if I can still ask. I'm sorry. I have a question about psychic. I know it's not on the topic, but
that's all right.
I'm supposed to have psychic abilities, like primarily, but I don't really understand what that means. I know I'm in my head a lot. I have to remember to smile and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, it definitely doesn't mean that, Kat. It means psychic means that you're using some of the 6 or 7 or 8 other skills that we were born with as humans, but that we've repressed a great deal, but we still all have, and they can be awakened. So that's the ability to sense things using your senses beyond your 6 senses. So you're not using your ordinary sight or your ordinary sense of smell or your ordinary hearing. You're using advanced sight and advanced smell and advanced hearing. And so they're more, they're more your intuitive, built in. It's built-in senses. The strongest one comes from your core, from your center of your body. It's your clairsentience, your ability to sense other people through your own body and sense other situations. So it's kind of the opposite of being in your head. It's the opposite. Yeah. Yeah, well, great to see you.
I'm so glad to see you.
Keep coming.
Okay.
All right, you take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we have Barbara Clark. Hey, Barbara. How are you? Congrats on making
Hello.
the leap over here to
I'm fine.
on
How are
Chrome
you?
to Crowdcast. Good for you. Yes, it is. I noticed that.
Seems to be moving slowly.
I'm going to see if we can get Nancy to come join us at the same time. She's been so diligent about trying to get on, and but we'll see if she can join us. But tell us your thoughts while we're waiting.
About the moon?
Whatever you'd like to kick
Would
around,
it be about
Barbara.
the moon, Deborah?
The topics are open.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
go ahead, Barb. I can hear you.
I guess. Okay. I'm not sure, but
We just lost.
I've been feeling like
I'm having a little trouble keeping Barbara. Barbara, I'm not sure you have enough bandwidth.
Am I there?
Okay.
Okay.
But well, no, now I hear you clearly. Go.
Okay. I was just saying I wasn't sure whether my topic would apply to everyone, but perhaps it might. I feel like I've been, since our last retreat anyway, I feel like I've been doing a lot of processing and very sensitive. And I sometimes feel like I'm going from one person to another. It's so extreme. And
No.
not quite sure what's happening.
You're not what?
Still
Barbara,
have me?
I still hear you.
Must be my connection. So I guess I'm just asking.
Well, you know, we get that way, don't we?
It's
interesting that Kathy just asked that question about, well, you know, am I supposed to be in my head? Or no, the answer is no, we're better off in our bodies, aren't we? But when we spend a lot of time there, we get so sensitive. I mean, I am so sensitive. I'm so tired of knowing what people are thinking all the time. I just assume not. You know, it's kind of disconcerting. I'm not asking for the information. Yes. I don't want to be invasive. But yeah, so I understand. You've been working on yourself for eons now. You personally, I'm speaking to you. And what a rough road it is, you know, that you're hoeing along, right? And it just seems to get harder, doesn't it, sometimes? And then we'll get a moment of clarity or a moment of grace or a moment of joy of, you know, feeling the moon or just not feeling all the angst that we pick up about ourselves and others. So I wish I could give more positive answer here, but in fact, I think the more evolved you become and the more conscious you become, the harder it becomes. I really do think so. I think that's what you're talking about. I think that's what you're alluding to. Very much looking forward to seeing you. Kat was asking, what do we do next as our advanced life force energy healing level 4 and 5 group? And of course, we're getting together just next week in Los Angeles. So that's probably one of the things you're sensing, is that as we heat up and get ready to come together, it will be so powerful that you start to feel it ahead of time. We do. So Barbara, hang out there for a second. Let's look at some of the questions over here that have come in since we've started. So, because I like to answer questions I see over here too. Cynthia Stumborg says she can't tolerate the sun much anymore, loves the coolness of the moonlight. Better for her pitta, her fire dosha. I couldn't agree more, Cynthia, and great to hear from you. And Nancy keeps trying to get on here. I see her going. There she is again. There she is. Oh my God.
Okay.
So
I tested my mic and camera like 4 times.
I know you're
Okay, here I am.
and then, here, let's take some questions, you guys. Anthony Franco says, I have a question. I feel so called to work with you. I'm only 20. I want to know which course I should start with. Oh, you're thinking about coming to Hawaii? By all means, Anthony, come to Hawaii. Jump on it. I still have a couple of rooms left in the room block. Hawaii actually called this morning telling me I only had a few left and that, they're going to cut it off pretty soon. So if you're thinking about it, jump on it. Just go to our page, our event page, and you'll see where to call the hotel. It's the hotel you worry about, getting a room from them. So that would be very cool. I would totally recommend that. It's these gals will tell you what an amazing experience it is when we go to that 5-star resort and hang out under the palm trees over there and the ocean breezes. It is pretty nice. It is pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, the internet really supports your work.
It does. And if I could brag about that rate I get at that hotel, it's 5-star, but because it's in the first 10 days of December, I get an amazing rate. I really do. It's incredible. Because otherwise, none of us could afford to go there. Yeah. And I see more people talking about the full moon. I see Suzanne. Hi, Suzanne. And Jessica says, I'm feeling an extremely strong presence of the goddess Mother Earth energy. This moon has brought a strong feeling of nurturing and awareness of how I'm taking care of myself and my loved ones. Great, Jessica. That feels very dialed in. Good for you. Yeah, that's that real strong feminine energy that the moon brings us. It brings us. So, Nancy, did you want to contribute to the discussion? You can talk moon, or you can talk sexual abuse. It's been sexual assault's been one of a big topic here for a few weeks, of course, because it's so prominent in the news.
Every day, another accuser. Anita Ramirez yesterday, and now there's somebody else today that went to Yale with him. It's like, and it doesn't seem like the committee really wants to hear about it. I mean, they've been trying to rush it through as fast as they can to get this guy on the Supreme Court and tip the balance to be more conservative without looking at the evidence. And like, the more that they try to do that, the more nervous I get, because they're
making themselves look so bad.
Oh, it's not justice.
I know. There's so many times
I
wish at least I'm a woman and not a man. But I hate, at this point, you almost hate being Caucasian, because it's just, we're such an embarrassment to the human race. Really.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. My guy who is Asian keeps telling me it's the white woman that elected Trump. I'm like, it wasn't me.
That actually is an accurate statement. He's well versed.
I know, and I don't like statistics.
It. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what else?
I mean, I was
tell us something.
Voting for
Did you get to see the
president? It's been very, very cloudy here. I didn't see it last night, but I saw it the night before, and I might be able to see it tonight. So, but I felt it, Deborah, what you said about you feel the energy, even though the drapes are closed, and it was really cloudy, you couldn't see it. But boy, I was awake half the night. Yeah. I felt it.
Yeah, no, I finally just got up at 3 and gave up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and my dreams have been crazy lately. So the veil is more open. It's like something, yeah.
Well, looking forward to seeing you at the retreat, Nancy. Oh no, you're not able to come to this one. I forgot. Next one.
I won't be next in October, unfortunately, but I will definitely be in Hawaii. I'm excited about that already.
All right.
So yeah.
We'll hang out for a few minutes. We'll bring somebody up to chat with us. Maybe you guys have to tell me if your camera ready. How about Ardell? I think Ardell might be. I thought I saw her name over in the side panel. Another Canadian who could shed some light on the backwardness of our country. The Canadians are always so more advanced than we are. It's embarrassing. Mm-hmm.
One more little thing I wanted to mention related to Cosby and also Kavanaugh. is that I still see them painting the perpetrator as the victim. Oh, we're ruining his career. Oh, he's an old blind man. He's 80s, you know, be nice to him.
Right. I haven't seen much of that.
I'm not saying,
You've seen that in the news? I have not. I don't think anybody's crazy about
yeah,
Cosby.
a little bit. I mean, and there, what was there, 50 or 60 women? I mean, what about them? And it's the Brock Turner thing all over again.
I don't realize, and we're seeing it again now with the Supreme Court nomination. People who are not trained or knowledgeable about this field do not realize how disastrous and destructive an incident like that in your life is, whether you're 15 or 35 or 5. It's extremely traumatizing. You know, the girl thought, and she said, he might inadvertently kill me. When someone is drunk and holds their hand over your mouth and they're on top of you, they could very well inadvertently smother you. You know, I'm sure she's had PTSD from that incident and is still trying to work her way past it. So, but these gentlemen, I think training in this field, they haven't read about it, they don't know about it, they probably don't want to know about it. So, well, great seeing you, Nancy. Thanks for coming, as always.
Yeah, I don't know.
Ardell is giving it a crack. Let's see if Ardell can join me. And just let me know over here in the side panel in the chat window if you'd like for me to call on you. Ardell says she's having trouble connecting her camera. I see that, Ardell. Oh, Retta has an interesting point. She says Clarence Thomas wasn't white. I don't think it's a white thing. But Clarence Thomas wasn't one of the judges. You understand? He was not sitting on the panel as a judge, as the senators do. He was in the position of being nominated. So whole different position. It certainly does take us back to those days, doesn't it? My goodness. Cynthia Stumborg, are you camera ready? What do we have all these Canadians here? Let's see if Cynthia's, nope, Cynthia's not able to. It's a very touchy program, isn't it? Deborah, maybe Deborah Castanarius. Let's see if Deborah has a camera. Let me give it just a minute. It's great spending a little bit of time with you guys. I'm sorry about the lapses in the program that makes it a little bit slow. I'm hoping that any day now they're going to make it as fast as it was last year. They've added some new parts, is what's happened, and they've got some bugs obviously in their system. Suzanne, how about Suzanne? Suzanne, are you able to join me here? Maybe not. Eva says the interesting thing about the harvest moon is that it happened during the 10th lunar moon, and that she says they're shields made of poplar wood that were very light, very flexible, and dense enough to stop arrows, and they were carried by women and children for self-protection. Hopefully the energy of this full moon will shield every woman. How interesting, Eva. Thank you for contributing that. That's actually very interesting. And hello, Suzanne.
Hi, can you hear me?
Nice to see you. I can. Great to see you.
Good to be seen.
What would you like to contribute?
Well, this whole episode with the accusers, I have friends of mine that I speak with, and I'm amazed how many women are really, really angry that these women have come forward.
Really? Why?
Oh, because they think that they are just going after him and that it shouldn't have happened because it's
it shouldn't have happened, of course.
Right, but it shouldn't have happened to him because it happened so long ago. It makes me crazy. I don't understand.
I was embarrassed for him. For those of us that are intuitive, which we were talking about early on in this show, I couldn't have imagined a worse thing than for him to go on live TV on a Fox interview, was that yesterday, because the whole time it was so apparent. He was so uncomfortable. He was so out of body, and he was so lying. I felt so sorry for the guy. I mean, why doesn't he just say, you know what? I drank my way through high school. I don't remember a damn thing. because that would be honest. He probably may not. It's very possible he may not remember this.
Right.
It's very possible. But the whole speech about being a virgin, as if that had. I know I was mortified for him. It was such an uncomfortable moment, and the poor. The poor.
Yeah, he didn't have sex until he was 30.
Yeah, the interview lady was just like not knowing what to do with that. She was like, "Oh my, I don't know how to deal with that."
I know. This is the administration.
It was a cringeworthy moment.
I know. It was very uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It's uncomfortable.
he's uncomfortable with himself, and he's way out of his depth with this, and he just should. I would have given Bill Clinton the same advice to say, for God's sake, just tell the truth. Of course you had sex with that woman.
Right.
Give her a bill. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, because when they lie, it's for those of us that are very attuned to lying, it's so apparent. It was so apparent. His whole face screamed liar.
Right.
Poor guy. I got to say, I felt sorry for him in that moment. But the rest of the time, I don't. He should do the right thing. He only has two choices. He either asks for an FBI investigation. If he's innocent, that's the first thing he should be demanding is, I want an FBI investigation, and I want enough time for these women to come forward so I can defend myself here. I don't want to have a sham fake hearing and then my name is muddied for the rest of my life. If he's innocent, that's what he should be screaming for, an FBI investigation.
Exactly.
Demanding it. If he's not innocent, he should withdraw. He only has two choices here, and they're very clear ones. They're very clear.
And once
so his name will always be ruined if he does neither one of those things. We'll never believe him, ever.
Right.
He's a young man. Why would he want to ruin himself so early? Why would he want to be trapped like this? Because there's two ways out. There's two honorable ways out. He either, if he's innocent, he demands the investigation, and we'll all respect him because he's done that. Or if he's not so innocent and he doesn't feel he can clear his name, then he withdraws. And that's honorable too. It's very honorable.
Absolutely. And once they both testify to the FBI, then they are beholden to their testimony, and they both have repercussions if they lie.
Right.
So that makes you think that
there's plenty of evidence out there for the FBI to discover. There is.
Right.
Doesn't matter how old it is. People remember, and that people are already coming forward with their memories.
Oh yeah. I mean, I would guarantee you half the women on our panel right now could tell a similar story. I know I could.
Half. About 2/3, 3/4. Yeah. When I was a young woman and I went into private practice, I was in Santa Barbara and I hung my little shingle out and I was so excited. I was waiting for clients. Every single person that came through the door, man or woman, talked about incidences of sexual harassment and abuse. And I'm like, what is the deal here? Well, I finally figured it out. I was attracting it, of course, because I was clearing my own. I was pretty young. But also I realized that the reported incidence of 1 in every 3 women and 1 every 5 men, that's 1 in 3 women and 1 in 5 men. That's what's reported. It's way off. Okay, it's way off. I didn't report mine. Who does? Who does? No, it's humiliating. You want to stuff it under the carpet and pretend it never happened.
Mm-hmm.
So, of course, the incidence is much more likely 2.7 out of every 3 women and probably 3 out of every 5 men.
Right.
Probably much higher. Mm-hmm.
Right. And who knows how much it is vice versa. Men are much more proud and much more secretive to come forward.
It's much more humiliating for them because it really emasculates them.
Yes.
It disempowers us, but it just emasculates them in a way that's so hard to define.
And it can cause them to be more violent and cause them to have behavior that's really dangerous.
Yeah. Well, great hearing from you, Suzanne. Okay. And stick around for a minute. Let's see if I can pull a third person up here. I haven't had much luck, and Crowdcast said they'd join us here today, but I'm not seeing them anywhere on the panel to try to troubleshoot this. Anybody want to stick their hand in the air over there? I'll call on you. Lots of people here. How about, I won't call on Linda Richards because I noticed that Ardell wasn't able to get on. So how about Betty? Betty, I don't know where you are, but let's see if are you able to join me? Suzanne, how about hopping down? I don't think I can bring up two. It's great to see you and see you soon.
Yep, very soon.
Mm-hmm. And I'll try inviting Betty again. Hi, Betty. See if I can get you invited. Okay. Says accepting and connecting. We'll give Betty a minute to join me. So again, just back to the moon for a moment, you guys, here, because we're getting close to the end of the hour. Just a reminder, you want to try to get outside tonight. Today's Tuesday, or tomorrow night, Wednesday. This harvest moon will still have plenty of energy. You know, it started really on Saturday and it'll probably run into Wednesday. So it's a very, very powerful moon. And even if you just get like a half hour to an hour on your skin, and it's warm, you know, it's not that cold, right? In the evening, you could maybe get the first half hour on your skin and be very beneficial. Lunar energy, tremendously beneficial. Yeah, Alex says he's really been feeling a boost of motivation with the lunar energy. Hey, good deal, Alex. And Crystal says she made some moon water. How cool is that? You know, moon water is a great idea. I used to do that. Thank you for reminding me. I'll try to go back to that. Hey, Betty, what city are you in?
Hi, I'm in New York City, Staten Island. I mean, I'm sorry, I moved. I'm just so excited about being on.
Wonderful. So you're not
I'm in
Staten
Newport
Island.
Richey, Florida now.
Oh, you did move. You went
Yes.
a ways. Well, good for
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I didn't expect to be on.
Well, here you are. Tell us your thoughts. What would you like to talk about? Or do you have questions for me? The floor is yours.
Oh, that's great to hear. Yeah, I've been doing the distant chelation for a while now.
Well, let me explain. Hold on. Let me just explain to people what that is.
Sure.
Getting some feedback there. So what Betty's talking about is a technique I teach where you clear energy in other people's bodies, and you can do it remotely. And chelate just means clear in this case. So go ahead, Betty.
Okay, so I've been doing it for almost a year and a half, I believe, and I just can't seem to connect with my guides. I've gotten better at determining whether the chakras are moving in the right direction with my hand, and then I check with the pendulum, and I'm accurate. So I'm glad that I've gotten that far.
Just doubting.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Uh-huh.
I'm willing to keep trying.
It just feels like you're doubting yourself that what your work is valid, but that you should just stop thinking about whether or not it's working. Just assume it is.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing EFT now.
You're connected right here. Your crown chakra is connected to source. So your work's effective. Good for you.
Yeah, I've been doing EFT too also, and that's helping. I just started doing that. I'm doing that every day for 20 minutes also.
Well, how nice to see you.
And you too. I'm glad
All right.
I got to
Take
talk
care.
to you. Okay,
Yeah.
you too.
Bye-bye. And looking back over here, Crystal says the moon looks great in Estonia right now, but it's cold. Yeah, Crystal, even in California, you know what? It started to cool down a little bit here. So I get it, but I think it's a little cooler in Estonia. A couple other comments. Linda Richards says, I think women weigh the situation of what position the man has and what damage he can do to others, because a woman knows that their life is never going to be the same. Yes, that's so true, Linda. And then Cynthia too has a comment that she wishes Kavanaugh would apologize. I think that's rather unlikely. Cynthia, just kind of looking at the. Nancy says that my readings are consistent. That I told Betty on a previous show that her hair that she showed an open crown chakra. That's interesting, Nancy. Thanks for the positive feedback. All right, you guys, we are out of time. It's been great being with you. I really enjoyed it. We are going to force this platform to work, aren't we? Come heck or high water, huh? All right, until I see you again, and I know I'm going to see all my advanced students next week in LA. I'm really looking forward to it. But until we see you again here, you take care.